said it also in the other program this afternoon. Ang pasalamatan natin po ay yung mga trabahante na Pilipino at taxpayers at the same time, yung nagpagod talaga. At yung mga motivators natin dito sa LCAC is really doing a fantastic job. Si Secretary Esperon. And of course, your action officer here also a very industrious person, si Secretary Cosi. Huwag na ho ninyo akong palakpakan kasi wala talaga akong ginawa kung hindi mag-upo lang sa opisina at maghintay ng resulta. Of course, these were all discussed in the cabinet. But the human's job really of implementing the projects, napakamarami ho. And it's just unfortunate that Tugade is not around. He was my classmate sa law school. He's already a billionaire. Pero at that time, working student siya, he was already occupying a top position sa Delgado Brothers. At nakita ko talaga kay Art, yung matalino, malikot yung utak, malikot. Gusto palagi may gawin. So, sila yung inaasahan ko na magbigay ngayon sa lahat ng projects all over the country. Just to also let you know that when I became president, the first thing during the cabinet meeting, I reminded everybody that we are now here faced with to do what we can for the country. At ang sinabi ko naman sa kanila, pera ito ng tao. So, you, pati si Art, pati si Villar, sabi ko, distribute the money all over the country namang isang region, may isang at least magandang project worth remembering. At yun ang inutos ko sa kanila kasi pera nila ito equitably distributed. Kaya makita ninyo lahat Pampanga has a magandang airport nila. Lahat ng airports na sa Pilipinas maganda na. Pwede na talang ipagyabang. At lahat ng mga, basta under sa Department of Transportation. And of course, Secretary Villar. He made a fantastic progress about our road networks. Talagang maganda na ang Pilipinas ngayon. Nagtrabaho lahat eh. At sinabi ko walang politika. Kasi kung hindi, yung ibang natalo ka dito, huwag bigyan. No. That's not our money. We learned that matagal na hindi natin pera yan. That was also my mantra or my paradigm when I was mayor of Davao City for almost 23 years. Then naging congressman ako for 4 years. 4 years ako naging vice mayor ng anak ko, si Inday. Then went towards the presidency. Without meaning to really crow about it. I never lost an election. So, ganun na lang ang pasalamat ko sa Pilipino. But total 2 pages lang naman to. I will read it if you are still in the mood of listening. After my talk, if not, we just go home. But before that, naisabi naman ang lahat dito. Dalawang pages para they were all already acknowledged. So hindi ko nabasahin yung mga personalities dito. Total, ganito yan eh. Ako, ordinaryo na tao lang. Just like yung mga tao sa labas. Huwag dito kasi puro star-studded itong mga tao dito. May credentials, ika nga. When I became mayor, presidente, mayor kasi tawag ko. Hindi ako nagpapatawag presidente. Mayor lang. Nung nanalo ako, kinuha ko talaga yung alam ko makatulong. Tugade, kinausapan ko si Villar, tapos kinuha ko sa National Security Advisor si Secretary Esperon. Lahat yan, nalaman ko na lang na si Lorenzana pala ay valedictorian. Alam mo kung saan ko nalaman yan? Pikit Cotabato yan eh. Ilocano yan pero Mindanao. Si Pastor Kibuloy, who is also from Cotabato, or lived there for some time. And he said that during their, I think, the early years nila sa college, pati sa high school, si Secretary Lorenzana pala ang kanilang valedictorian. Matagal ko nang kilala si Delvin. Long time ago when I was mayor, he was assigned there sa isang batalyon and we became close friends. So, kinuha ko siya. Lahat ng mga bright, si Secretary Cusi, halos lahat ng cabinet members ko ngayon, yung magkabila ng mesa, yung isa dito puro civilian, sa harap namin puro retired military men. At nakita ko na ngayon yung pag may inutos talaga ako, ginagawa at na walang corruption, wala lahat at mabilis. Pag sinabi kong gawin mo, ginagawa. They were all lahat sa mayor, puro may credentials nga, either valedictorian or whatever. Ako lang ang medyo ultimo doon sa cabinet table. Kaya lang minsan I was in a very pensive mood. They were discussing, it was already 2 o'clock in the morning, at pinag-aralan ko yung mga bright boys ng Pilipinas. At sinabi ko, maswerte pa rin ako. Kasi lahat ng mga bright, mga valedictorian, utusan ko lang dito sa kabinete. Ako 75 lang. Totoo yan. Hindi ako nagbubula. When I say na hanggang 75 lang ako, hindi naman talagang 75 all the way, but more or less on the average, hindi ako. 75 lang. Kaya sa kampanya, wala akong titulo, graduated valedictorian, wala. O yung mag-introduce sa akin during his days, walang ganun. Ordinaryo ako. Kaya naman, in a crowd, hindi kayo, dito puro mauutak ang tao dito. Pero doon sa kampanya, sinasabi ko talaga, prangka. Sinasabi ko, ilan dito ang valedictorian? In a crowd na malaki, may 3, sa Iloilo, 3. Good, sabi ko, I wanna shake your hands after the program. Sino ditong salutatorian? Meron, 2, 3. Sino ditong pumasa na, yan, tamang-tama lang, 75, 26, pinakamataas 80. Sino sa inyo? Lahat nagtaas ng kamay. Kaya sabi ko, Brad, magkasama tayo. Marami tayo dito. So, ordinaryo lang talaga ako. Ang pakilala, at makatotoo naman talaga just by the stroke of, well, I would say that the presidency is a gift from God. Why I was gifted with such I really do not know. I cannot explain it until now. So much for that. My fellow Filipinos, we welcome this day with high hopes as we continue to work together for peace and security in our country. I commend the National Task Force and Regional Task Force to end the local communist armed conflict for collectively realizing the government's policy of holistic and whole-of-the-nation approach to ending communist insurgency. Mag-segue ako dito, ha. Kaya nga bumagsak yung peace talks. Lahat ng binigay na mga proposals, binigay ko rin sa military, sabi ko, you study. Pero ako talaga, pagtanggap ko, hindi na. And there was this one missing ingredient to arrive really at a peaceful resolution of the conflict. Yung accountability. Wala. Alam mo, kaya hindi ako pumayag. Kung papasamayan sa hindi ko panahon, okay lang. Pero ako, I have to have something in my hand na i-provision for the sanctions na lahat ng nangamatay dito sa Pilipinas, mga barangay captains almost every day, innocent people suspected of being informants of the military. Marami ang pinapatay na pati itong human rights wala nang ginawa, tinuturo sa akin. Ganon yan eh. So, walang the accountability, whatever, if they have any against us or against them, wala. At ayaw nilang i-discuss yan. Sabi ko, walang. No peace talks. We will fight forever if ako ang masunod. Paano yung namatay? Paano yung biktima nila na sabihin mo lang na peace talks na maglamano tayo? Ano ito? Laro ng bata? Kaya ako hindi talaga sabi ko, may kulang dito. One ingredient is really the sanctions sa mga yung mga insurgents. Hindi tayo ang gobyerno eh. Hindi naman tayo papatay kung walang rason. So, yun ang isa doon. The one ingredient factor that was missing, which I was discussing and insisting on as part of the talks. Ayaw nila. O di ayaw ko. O di wala. Hindi pwede yan ganun. Kailangan may magsagot. Paano na yan? Mabutit na lang namatay si... Hindi ko naman, I do not really wish it upon my fellow human being. But we all deserve in this life what we aspire for. Your important work in peace building and fighting extremism must also pave the way for the improved well-being of our people. I am certain that they will champion the security of our fellow Filipinos despite the forces that try to prevent us from becoming a stronger and more progressive nation. I laud you for extending the much-needed social services to conflict-affected areas with strong sense of urgency and concern. Your quick response to the needs of our kababayans speak well of your faithfulness to duty and love of country. The good that you have done is significant in building and restoring the people's trust and confidence in government. On this note, I want to emphasize that local chief executives, the community leaders bear the task of addressing crime and illegal drug situation in their respective localities. Also remember that local elections, if done consistently and dependently, advances our collective goal of securing and safeguarding the nation. As leaders of your communities, you bear the responsibility, again, to help those who strayed away from the law so that they may find hope in the promise of reintegration of new beginnings. Wala akong problema doon sa rank and file. Lalo na yung mga farmers na dala, either because they were coerced or intimidated, wala silang choice in the rural areas. Of course, common sense, walang ano yan. I'm talking of the leaders, yung pulitburo. Kailangan may managot dito. Hindi pwede na. We have to assess because the act of one is the act of all. If it is a conspiracy, just like the communists, which has been already declared terrorists, yung farmer doon na nagdadala lang ng shotgun, pati itong ditong leader nagdadala ng barret. It's a gun which can hit an enemy 2 kilometers away. Pareho yan sila. So, but I said, we can have a sense of understanding dito. Pero yung mga leader, that is why in our fight against lawlessness and insurgency, I strongly encourage our local chief executives to synergize their efforts with the national and regional task force to end local communist armed conflict. Let us continue to uphold the highest standards of public service as we do our task consensuously and support the administration's key programs in achieving peace and security. Just bear with me para malaman lang ninyo ang utak ko. Kasi probably some of you naririnig lang ninyo. During the campaign, wala akong I had no idea of the economic picture of the country. I am a lawyer Ang economics ko, yung economics sa college. Well, that was my working economics. But I had really no idea kung ano. So I stuck to just during the campaign, you might have noticed, and during the presidential debate. Ano ko lang sabi ko, I will try to minimize crime. I will go after crime, criminality, drugs, tapos corruption, tapos I will, whatever is left or is left, money, kung may maabutan ako. At mabuti naman yung mga loans natin, until now, the international financial world continues to have a supportado sa atin despite of our convoluted economic problems now. Meron pa rin silang tiwala. So maganda yan. At doon ako nakakuha ng... So peace and order. Ayaw ako magyabang, pero talagang humina. Ngayon, droga, criminality. Alam mo, ganito yan. Itong ICC, gusto akong ikulong ng mga nila. Ako, kung may kasalanan, kung talagang may kasalanan, at tapos sabihin mo sa akin, ito ang nagawa mo masama, ay abogado ako, tignan natin. And if I am prosecuted, you prosecute me in a Philippine court with a Filipino judge. And governed by the rules of court on evidence. Bakit mo ako dalhin sa ibang lugar to face itong mga puti, tapos husgaan ako ng mga ituloy ko na lang para malabas ko rin yung galit ko. Ito mga putang inan to. Anong gago? Pilipino ako, tapos dalhin mo ako doon, mga puti yung naloko na. Mag-rebuild din na lang ako. Magpatayan tayo. Bakit ako? Ako, sigurado ako, wala silang jurisdiction sa akin. There is one thing, gusto talaga ninyo malaman. Gawa ganito. The law says, the Constitution says that all laws, particularly penal laws, must be published in the official gazette or in a newspaper of wide circulation. But primarily sa official gazette. Ang mga buang pinirmahan ni Estrada, dinala nila doon sa Congress for the ratification. Dapat binalik nila dito sa Executive Department. The Executive Department, kung ako, I will now order the publication of the law. Yung ICC law rin naman, o crime against, whatever crime is there, you have to publish it because that would put everybody, every Filipino and all on constructive notice na may batas. Kung hindi mo i-publish yan and if you fail, to Vera versus, I think, in Relay, there is no law at all. Kasi pagkatapos ng Congress, dinala kaagad nila and appended it sa Rome Agreement. Without the publication, because the publication, parang yun ang constructive notice na, hoy, mga Pilipino, may batas tayo. Ako mismo, abogado, hindi ko man alam. Mabaski alam ko, but hindi nila, you have to comply with the law. Now, if you insist on prosecuting me, itong mga ICC, itong local, makinig kayo for your education. Pag hindi ninyo nagawa yan, walang mangyari. You cannot bring me within the jurisdiction of your ICC. Because dito, sa Pilipinas pa lang, you have deprived me of my constitutional right. What is that? That no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. What is the due process? The publication. So, ngayon, manigas na kayo, talagang, pero I would love to go to where that Hague court is. Without necessarily submitting to its jurisdiction, I would like to give a speech there. And worst comes to worst, kung talagang may trial, then my first witness will be Dilima. Siya man ang sige daldan. I'm not trying to pick a fight with any of you here. Yun ang... So,